Hi everybody, welcome to Christian Homestead. My name is Jared. Spectacular footage showing the fall of submunitions from the Iranian Khorramshahr-4 medium-range ballistic missile carrying cluster warhead on Israel short time ago. And out of all the things that I've considered and witnessed since I started this channel, nothing looks more like stars falling from the sky than these cluster munitions. They really do look like stars falling from the sky. We looked at what Joseph Smith said during the Great Meteor Shower of 1833, where he said it was definitely a sign of the Second Coming, but there would be a greater fulfillment toward the end because the meteors that they were witnessing were not reaching the ground. And in this case, these stars, quote unquote, are reaching the ground. And I have wondered what happens if one of them hits the Temple Mount or hits one of the holy sites in Jerusalem. There's this website called SOFAR where you can keep tabs on rocket attacks and drone attacks in real time. And it has this portion of the website that shows you which areas of Israel have been targeted the most. Here's the key up here. So if it's in red, then it's an area that's received more attacks than areas in green. And Tel Aviv is in the deep red. But not too far off from that is Jerusalem. It's more this kind of like orangish yellow color, maybe somewhere around here. And I've wondered specifically with the cluster munitions they cover what seems to be a pretty wide area. Instead of just one missile coming in and striking one location, you suddenly have what looks like dozens of impact sites. If we go up here, you can see since the start of this war, you have Jerusalem right here, and it's kind of on the lower side as far as all these other locations that have been targeted, with 29 alerts, it looks like. But still, it could happen. I did a video recently about a Israel 365 article where they were wondering if the Ayatollah was specifically targeting Israel before he died. I don't know if that's true or not, but we have some news. If we go to Temple Institute, this is from March 16th. Missile fragments fall on Temple Mount. Israeli journalist Amit Segal reports, quote, fragments of an interceptor missile fell in several locations in the Old City, including the Temple Mount Plaza. So this would be from a Israeli interceptor missile, but still, we have now seen some, well, I don't know if you would call it damage. It doesn't look like it damaged anything, but we've seen pieces of these rockets fall on the Temple Mount. I was already surprised back in 2024 when you had that first direct attack by Iran on Israel, where they launched a bunch of ballistic missiles. And there was somebody on the Temple Mount who was recording. And again, it was like these scenes where it looks like the stars are falling from the sky, but as viewed from the Temple Mount with the Dome of the Rock in the foreground. That already was stunning to me. But this is yet another escalation in that. The article that I covered, I think it was like a week or two ago, talked about the fact that there was an Iranian missile that hit not too far from the Temple Mount. I can't remember what the measurements were. We did it on Google Earth, but it was something like, I don't know, like half a mile or something like that. It wasn't very far. But this time, we actually have fragments on the Temple Mount itself. We have this from March 16th, and then on the next day, we have this, and this might be the same thing, but this is from Yitzhak Reuven. Missile fragments fall on holy sites in Jerusalem. Yesterday, we reported on Iranian missile fragments that landed on the Temple Mount. Fragments from, well, here he's saying Iranian missile fragments on the Temple Mount. So, I don't know. The Temple Institute says it was from an interceptor missile, which I'm assuming is a Israeli missile. He's saying it's from an Iranian missile. So I guess I don't know. Sorry, I guess I missed that detail. Fragments from the same missile also fell on the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, the Armenian Patriarchate, and the Jewish Quarter, all located in Jerusalem's Old City. Another missile fragment landed just meters from Israel's National Library, where thousands of holy books and ancient manuscripts of priceless historical value are kept. Missile fragments are the result of the Iranian missiles being shot down in mid-flight by Israel's anti-missile defense systems. They had not been shot down. Had they not been shot down, all the holy sites might have been destroyed. Iran is at war with everything holy to the Western world. Now, the question that I have is Israel going to be able to continue to intercept these missiles? Because from what I've seen, it seems like their stockpile is getting low. I don't know how long it takes to replenish it. But what happens if they do? And what if Hezbollah and Iran and the Houthis, what if they continue to fire missiles? Iran's ballistic missile capabilities seem to have diminished. There's less and less attacks as time goes on, but they're still able to launch ballistic missiles. As far as I know, there haven't been any launches by the Houthis, but they do have ballistic missiles. And then you have the Hezbollah problem. So this picture is missile fragment near the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. And I'm not too familiar with this location, but I seem to remember seeing pictures of the inside of this. And I think under this dome right here, that's like the main area of the sepulcher. Imagine if this had gone through the dome. Could you imagine that? What kind of news headlines that would produce? And how that could maybe escalate things to a new level? Same thing with Al-Aqsa Mosque and the Dome of the Rock. Could you imagine if one of these fragments went through the Dome of the Rock? Or if one of these buildings caught fire? This is crazy. And this is a very, this is a very real possibility, I think. This one says missile fragment near the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. And then here's that same picture. I think it's the exact same picture on the Temple Mount. This one looks like it's also from the Church of the Holy Sepulchre area. Israel's National Library. I'm not sure where this is at. And then, yeah, so those are the pictures. So, to me, it feels like this war just continues to escalate. In fact, not just this Iran war, but ever since the October 7th attacks. I actually have a spreadsheet where I was trying to keep track of all the escalations. And I guess I could try and retroactively add some things onto there. Maybe I'll do that. I guess like the latest big escalation is the Iran war. But in my mind, it's all the same thing from October 7th, 2023 until now. It's all the same thing, I think. And it continues to escalate. Every time I get on X, there's always like a new update about how things have escalated that day. One of the most recent ones, there was like an oil field that was struck, and I think some of it was operated by Qatar, I think. And so Qatar, whatever, they're upset about that. And more and more of Iran's defenses are being taken out. But I'm also starting to see more and more damage in Israel. It's not like those first three attacks. You had the first direct attack in I think it was April or May of 2024. And then another one later that year. And not a whole lot of damage was done to Israel from what I saw. And then you had the 12-day war, which was more serious, but still it didn't seem like much was damaged in Israel. But this time you're starting to see more and more buildings being damaged, destroyed, cars, and things like that. It's nothing as dramatic as like entire cities being destroyed or communities. It seems like it is limited to like individual buildings and cars. But I don't know. I don't know how much further this can go. Things are ramping up between Israel and Hezbollah. Israel is going into Lebanon because they want to create a buffer zone between Israel and Hezbollah and also take out some of their capabilities. But it feels like things just keep getting uglier and uglier. And so, just to bring it back full circle, I just wonder what happens if one of these buildings gets struck. What if Israel no longer has interceptors, or they don't have enough, and then one of these actually gets through? What do you think would happen? Let me know in the comments below. So anyway, here's the newest update. We may be talking about this again in the future if things continue this way. I don't know how long this is going to go. That's it for this one. I'll talk to you guys later.